In the famous words of Jaden Smith, can we just take a second to stop and think about the political and economic state of the world right now? It doesn't even seem that long ago when I start to think about watching Cartoon Network and seeing my favorite shows like Regular Show or Lego Ninjago or Adventure Time, or maybe even when I used to play video games with my siblings. I remember me and my brothers would always argue about which bows we would get on Horizon Drac or what staves we would get on Origins. Or even when I was out with my friends, staying out late at night on the weekends, being able to watch movies and have, hangouts at my friend's house. And then I stop reminiscing and I start to realize that this was almost 10 years ago now. When I think of Prime Life, I think of 2016 to 2018, back when, Call of Duty was really, really big and before it started to get really, really bad, they started releasing all these horrible games and all that stuff that just kind of just sucked. Nobody was really on board with, you know. I start to think about Prime Fortnite when everyone would hop on and get on late at night. We would stay up till 2 a.m. trying to grind, getting those dubs. And honestly, I would like to just say that we had a really good run up until 2019. I think arguably what kind of set everything down the wrong path was the lockdown that happened as a result of COVID. I think a lot of people either had a really, really good time or they had an extremely awful time and were super depressed. Because I'm a bit of an introvert, I would say. And for me, this was kind of my dream. Not a lot really changed for me. I mean, I went to school online. And by doing school online, really what I meant is I would log on, turn off my camera, hop on the game with the boys, hop on Discord, play from 7, which was like the time that school started, till probably 2 in the morning, go to sleep, rinse and repeat. And I would just do that every single day for months. So for me, I mean, not much really changed, and this was kind of my dream. Like, honestly, I don't think that I could have asked for anything better than what I received during these years. I mean, I had a lot of memories throughout this time that were really, really positive. I mean, I'm sure maybe other people had different experiences than I, but other than, being able to hop on the game and being able to enjoy time with my friends online, I think that it had significantly worse ramifications on society as a whole, and I think that that was kind of irreversible. Now I go out and I see playgrounds that are just empty. The streets are empty in my neighborhood. There are no kids that are going out to play anymore. Just kind of sad. I mean, the other weekend I went to the mall and it was completely empty. All the stores were shut down. There's only like 3 stores open, a Dave and Buster's, and that was it. The parking lots were empty. It was kind of like it was a ghost town. It's almost as if it had been abandoned. And I start to look back and think to myself, well, was it really worth it? Some people just never came out of hiding. They just decided, okay, well, I can have a remote job now. I can just, stay home all day, work from home, and I don't even need to ever go to the office. Some people just decided that, I don't even actually need to go out and groceries. I can just order them on Amazon, or I can have people deliver them to my house. A lot of these grocery stores now have apps where you can do that. Well, the same thing could be said about food. A lot of people just use DoorDash now. They just get some random minority to deliver food to their house. And on top of that, everything has just become so less personalized. Like, I've just seen the amount of things that have become so automated where there isn't really even a human presence that's needed. Like, there's self checkouts too. If you genuinely wanted to not interact with another human being for, I don't know, weeks or something, you could probably do it. You would probably be self sufficient and you would not need to talk to another human for a really long time. And if you tried to live your life like that, you could probably get away with it. There's nobody that's stopping you from doing that. You could 100% do that and live a pretty okay life. And I think that a lot of people have seen this and have realized, you know what? Maybe that's how I want to live. Flash forward a couple of years into the future, and I don't think that much has changed. I mean, how many years has it been? COVID was in what, 2019, and it's 2025 now. It's been over 5 years since COVID has happened, and the problems that we saw back then have really only intensified. I think now more than ever, when you look at political divide, it's just complete schlop. It's just disgusting. I mean, if you don't see any articles about Donald Trump and how he's basically the reincarnation of Hitler,
Mustache
he's
man,
just some neo-Nazi
not cool guy.
who's looking for the mass genocide of all minorities, or you don't see an article about Joe Biden and Sleepy Joe, Crooked Joe, about how he just drove this country straight into the ground, and the saving grace that is Donald Trump just needed to swoop in and have those 2 years to fix everything. I mean, wow, just wow. The political divide has just gotten bigger and bigger. Now, all I see are extremists on social media talking about how they wish death upon all the voters of the opposite candidate. They really just say, hey, if you didn't vote for the guy that I wanted to, see win, then you're a good for nothing piece of shit and I hope you die. I mean, really, that's how far it's gotten. We've just wished death upon, other people who think differently than us. That rivalry has led to a lot of built up tension. This hatred has just culminated into something that's just awful. It's a cesspool on Twitter now. You go on Twitter and all you see is just, moronic idiots spewing a bunch of nonsense, and all these candidates have cult like followings. When these very same candidates that have been in office, already numerous times, have continued to do the exact same thing. I mean, I think that they're reluctant to do anything that brings any positive change. It's just awful. And yet here we are coming in, laying our lives on the line and saying how great all of these people are when we know that there hasn't been any great progress that's been done within the last 10 years. These political candidates have just driven the economy into the ground. There are indicators of huge recessions. The cost of living has gone up exponentially, and people just love to talk about the price of eggs. I mean, we always talk about the bird flu and how, groceries are so expensive nowadays. The job market is just awful. I mean, it stinks. It's just putrid. We have a bunch of educated people who have just graduated from college applying, by the thousands, sending out application day in, day out, facing rejection from a bunch of different companies, all because they have some AI that needs to pick up on 4 keywords, and because their application didn't include them, they're basically told to fuck off when they're 100% fully capable individuals who can do the job. That's another problem too, is we have made so many barriers for people to access good paying jobs that have good benefits. That's only just made everything so much more worse. And if it's not one thing, of course it's the other, right? With, global warming just going down the shitter. I mean, if you don't believe in it, okay, sure, whatever. You know what? You can just pause the video and scroll off right here, because that's what I'm going to talk about, right? The economy, the political candidates, horrible job market, and how us humans have accelerated global warming to a certain point now that they say has basically reached catastrophic levels. It's just irreversible. We will die. They're saying that the last humans are being born on this planet that are going to be able to, sustain life on Earth because of how hot it is. That's just awful. All this stuff is just amounting to a hot heap of trash. Anyways, if you do decide to be lucky enough to be born at a time where you're not going to be too worried about being microwaved alive by the sun and the heat of the earth, you can see the divorce rate statistics, that are overwhelmingly just upsetting. So if you were ever so simple minded as to believe that you could enjoy your time here, settle down, find a nice partner, and have some kids that could grow up to do great things, basically the odds are that you're cooked. You know, we are cooked. You and I, yes, we are all very cooked. We're cookachinoed. And what are we going to do about it? What's there to do? Can we do anything about it? They're saying we're screwed. They're saying that we are so cooked. By they, I mean scientists, I say politicians, I say world leaders. Everyone is talking about how the world is getting gloomier. It's like there's a dark veil that is surrounding the earth, and there's this shroud of doom and despair that has, basically been able to cloak us all, and we're cooked. We're cooked. In simple words, there's no need to drag it out. We're so cooked. You might be, asking yourself a lot of questions after listening to all this. You're just watching a 20-minute video about how we're all screwed. There's no point in doing anything. What is this going to accomplish, really? Why should I care? I myself, I'm young. I'm living in a day and age where all of these things are going to affect me. All these boomers, they're talking about how they don't care. They're going to die soon. So that's on us. We're the generation that's going to be able to fix everything and put it back to normal. Pick up all the pieces. And that's kind of a huge responsibility that's been put on all of our shoulders. Because I look around and I see a lot of people in my generation, and these are the people that are going to fix everything. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, I look at myself. I'm not even going to judge anyone else. I'm just going to talk about myself, right? Because that's the least that I can do. I can talk about myself, and that's pretty much it. Maybe there are some other individuals who are very, extraordinary and special and gifted and talented and all that type of stuff. But I'm sitting here in my room. I'm thinking back to myself and what I'm going to be able to do here. And I'm kind of lost. People ask me, what are you going to do? What do you want to do with your life? And I'm often at a loss of words. I don't really know what I can do, what there is for me to do. I think because of that, it's led me to basically not make a choice. Because of that, I think that not making a choice is a choice in and of itself. You know, I don't know how you feel. Maybe you're watching this and maybe you're just completely locked in. Maybe this doesn't apply to you, but maybe you're an individual who finds yourself waking up, doom scrolling on your phone for a couple of minutes to start off the day. Maybe not even 10 minutes, maybe half an hour, maybe an hour. Finally get out of bed, get up to go and eat, do your morning routine, and then you start your day. And that's kind of depressing. I mean, you get up, you go to work or you go to school, you do, whatever you want to do within, those couple of hours before you go to bed. That's it. You go to sleep and you dream about all those things that you could possibly doing or whatever's going on. You wake up and you do the same thing over and over again. Frankly, I think that that's starting to drive me insane. I think this is a sign to each and every single one of you to get up. I think that we all need to be productive members of society and make a choice. Because if you don't make a choice, someone else will make a choice for you. And that's very daunting. That's very hard to do. You know, if you're someone like myself, you're probably scared. You probably don't know what it is that you can do. It might seem like your options are very limited. Maybe like you've been dealt a bad hand, and you're not alone. You are not alone, and you will never be alone. Now is the time to do something. Anything, really. Because doing anything is better than doing nothing. Do it scared. Do it alone. Do it as you are. There's an old Chinese proverb that goes, the best time to plant a tree was 60 years ago. The second best time is now. When I heard that, I was like, well, thanks, man. What the fuck is that supposed to mean, you know? Oh, I gotta do stuff, you know? I gotta get up and I gotta do anything, you know? Well, no shit, you know? That's what I would say to them. But I think as I've gotten older, I've realized that when I was told that, I was being told that by someone who believed in me. I was being told to get up and make use of myself because that person believed in me. So if no one has told you this, I believe in you. If you were looking for a sign, this is your sign. From one person to another, I may not know you, I may have never met you, but that doesn't matter. Because I believe that every single individual who was born on this planet has intrinsic value. And you can do whatever it is that you set your mind to. Truly, I tell you, if you believe in yourself, you will succeed. There is nothing as strong as the belief in oneself. That's the highest predictor of success, is the belief in oneself. Higher than any other thing. Higher than talent. Higher than anything. You have to get up and tell yourself that you're going to do whatever it is that you've been setting your sights on. Because I believe in you. If you tell that mountain to move, you can make that mountain move. You are the most capable human ever. And I'm not kidding. And that's not a joke. No matter where you're from, it doesn't matter your height, the color of your skin. It doesn't matter if you are born in a first world country or a third world country or the language that you speak or who you know. That doesn't matter. Because you can always persevere and you can always do something to be in a better position than the one that you are in right now. And you will. And you will go on to do great things. You'll go on to do amazing things. Because you're you. And you are going to conquer the world. So never stop believing in yourself. And never, I mean never, believe in anyone who is telling you that you aren't capable. Don't listen to anyone who tells you to be realistic. That's the worst advice you could give because they don't know what's realistic. Don't listen to anyone who tries to make you feel small or make you feel dumb for trying to do the things that you want to do. Always remain true to yourself and strive to be the best version of yourself. That version of you that has everything that you've ever wanted, that has attained every single goal that you've ever wanted to achieve, that version of you exists out there somewhere. So keep it in sight and try hard to make it your reality. Chase your goals while you still can. Because soon enough, you'll look back on the life you led, and you'll see whether or not you were proud of what you did with your time here on Earth. Do you want to look back and say that you did nothing? Or be proud of who you are and what you did and the impact you had on others?
Dude, like, oh my God, like, can we talk about like the political and economic state of the world right now?
If you made it this far into the video, I want to give you a big thanks and tell you to watch this video right here about me and my friends and the funny moments that we had while playing this game.